Hey, I'm Cole.
I'm Kenyon.
I'm Kwame.
And I review bad self-help.
And we put it into our daily lives so you don't have to.
This week, we're going to be looking into womb regression therapy.
I almost feel afraid to ask what that is. Like, I've never... The episodes have gotten increasingly, like, when you introduce the topic, I'm like, A, why am I here? And then B, what the fuck is
Well, they go
going
from,
on?
like, silly, funny thing to, like, an occult ritual, womb regression therapy.
This week,
Yeah.
child
This week I went to the
Could
mountains.
it help you get women?
I went to the mountains of Transylvania where we're going to be exploring the vampiric.
And there's two forms of womb regression. One of them is banned in Colorado. And
Where they're like, you know what? Weed's fine. But you whatever the fuck this is not okay. We can have a 9-year-old eating a THC lollipop, but we can't have can't have whatever the fuck's it. So what was it that made Colorado go like not?
What is
anymore this
womb
shit?
regression therapy and what is the one that's banned?
Okay, so first I'll go into like what it addresses. So womb regression therapy is people believe that some of their problems stem from their time in the womb. I was looking at like some articles and it said some of what people blame on what was caused from the womb was like feelings of loss, alienation, betrayal, rejection, loneliness,
But how does that
isolation, grief, relationship issues, panic attacks, depression, and sinus problems. Can all be traced back to traumas in the
This is
womb.
like a major thing that people believe.
But how does that happen in the womb? Like your mom gets like punched in the stomach while she's pregnant and now you have like sinus problems?
No, so they believe as a fetus you can hear and understand everything your mom and dad are saying outside of the
Then
womb.
why wasn't I just being born? No, I'm not staying for this. What the fuck are you talking about? No, of course, I barely know you. No, you're pregnant? How the fuck are you pregnant? You said you were on the pill. You're not on the pill? I don't know. I was staying alive. Fuck you.
And you come out and you have allergies
Yeah.
and you're allergic to peanuts.
Yeah, it's so insane. I don't come.
Yeah, so
Why didn't I get born with the ability to run away from any responsibility from my...
Yeah, so people feel like if you're also like they say that if you were born by a cesarean section, they say you may look for shortcuts to everything in life.
Almost like a witty Steve Wright joke. That's not like actual fucking life advice.
Yeah.
Classic Steve. You know, he couldn't even come out the pussy. Didn't even have what it took, man. This dude was looking for a handout from the start. He made his mom cut his stomach open because his lazy ass couldn't get his bootstraps up and come out the vagina like a man.
What a horrific way to shit on women who have a C-section.
You know, your kid's just going to be a coward, right? You know, he's just going to be a fucking coward.
Or someone with like a forceps birth, which I don't even know
I've never
what
even heard of
that
that.
is.
What is that? Oh, is that when you come out feet first?
No.
That's the way you're supposed to be born.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Huh?
You come out head first. You're supposed to come out if your baby comes out feet first. It's like I know because they're gonna fuck the baby up or whatever. It's true.
So you know what forceps are, right?
The shit on like bugs, like the little front arms.
They're
Isn't that what they are?
no, that's
Like a praying mantis's arms.
stupid.
those are forceps.
You know,
man.
it really depresses me that, like, you went to an American public school. You know what I mean?
You know what those are forceps. Like forearms.
Just stop it. Just stop it.
It sounds like an insect kind of word.
It's just like you got a shovel out and you're digging a hole so deep.
No, forceps are you know what like salad tongs are, right?
I do.
So like the medical version of that is forceps.
Oh, okay.
Wait, and they just drag the baby out with a salad dog?
I guess they just
Do they do that?
They stick tongs in the vagina and then grab the
Well, childbirth is like a horrifically unbeautiful thing. Like, what an actually gross, terrible. Like, half the time they gotta
the
cut her
miracle of
open.
life.
Can you imagine seeing someone you love and you're like, we're gonna make a baby together, and then she shits herself and someone has to cut her open and
Do they
drag
shit
this like,
themselves?
huh?
I heard their ass.
happens
kinda,
a lot.
I heard their
People-
ass like gets like split. Like,
Yeah,
the crack
that happens
gets
a lot.
split, too,
They're
'cause it-
what?
Like some like they like the what am I trying to say? I guess like your cooch becomes a little smaller because your vagina gets like split open. That's what
This is also coming from the triceps insect guy. You know, like how about you stop saying knowledge? Stop it with the facts, dude. Before you go on with the climate, you're like, and I hear this climate change is a hoax put on by the Chinese. You don't know anything.
He tried to describe some medical procedure, and he's like, I heard their cooch gets a little
Well,
small.
I didn't know the right
the
word.
medical term?
First of all, I did not say cooch. I said gooch.
Who the fuck says cooch?
Two completely separate. What else would you call it? What would you call the gooch if not the gooch?
Oh, well, I thought you said cooch.
I said gooch. The area
don't even
between
know.
your asshole and your pelvic area.
And you're saying that gets ripped open during childbirth.
Now it gets ripped open. That's your vagina.
Now I'm going to ask you a question.
asshole.
How many actual women have you talked to? Like, how many actual women have you actually
I
talked
read
to?
this. Damn you. Your vagina.
This dude's about to be like, and you
We're
know,
moving
if
past.
you need free milk, just go up to any woman. They have it all the time, and you just squeeze their boobs.
We're moving past. We're moving past.
Also,
We're moving past.
as stupid as what he said was, it's still not as stupid as saying you take shortcuts in life because you're born from
Yeah,
a
that's
cesarean section.
I think that just to put that in perspective, this person is somehow dumber than Kwame, and that's saying a lot.
But like I was saying, they say like someone with a forceps birth may dislike being controlled by authority figures.
But they were pretty controlled as a kid, I guess. They were dragged out with tongs.
Yeah, so that's why they dislike.
Yeah, that's why they dislike it.
You know, every time they see their boss, they're like, "Oh, it's the tongs again."
What problems do you guys think you have from
You know,
your
I was
births?
born with a complete Jufro. I was like destined to be an
Did you really? You
awkward-
had a Jufro when you were born?
Yeah, it was all wet from the juice and whatever. But I mean, I was born with a
Juice.
soggy Jufro, little boy. So I was born to be the awkward male in a high school movie. That was like my destiny.
Like if your dad reacts to your mom telling her she's pregnant, like if he reacts in disappointment and anger, it like they say it'll set the emotional base for your life to come.
As a sperm, as a little
Don't
zyte.
you ever feel like you've met someone that's weak cum though? Can't you like feel weak cum? I feel like this generation's almost made of weak
See,
semen.
but I can see.
You know when you
I
shoot-
can see in your eyes that you're thinking of naming specific people, and I want to stop you
No.
before you
Well,
alienate.
you know when you shoot a load and it's like it's quick and it's strong and it's got a motivation to it. Like that was like I feel like
there's
everyone
definitely-
now is like that dribble sad load that goes out. And it basically comes out, and it just goes like, I'm an introvert, and that's the whole generation we have. Is a generation of weak semen men. Anyway, we can get back to what we were talking about.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So they're saying like as a what's it called when the egg and the sperm are one? I guess it's just like a feed, but like, as like a
Conception?
no, what I'm saying when they're whatever as
Yeah,
like a month old,
conception.
when my mom knows she's pregnant, when I'm like a month old, I can hear my dad saying,
Yeah, no, you not also hear them, you like can sense. Like for some reason they all believe a fetus has more powers than you do right now.
Why can't it save itself? Why can't it fight off the fucking Planned Parenthood
Well,
doctors?
yeah, when I drove to Indiana to vacuum one out, it sure didn't have any powers then.
That'd be great. I want to see like the Christian Wright movie about like a superhero fetus. Like the mom's like going and it's like dun 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 dun, and a fetus flies in and like fights a Planned Parenthood doctor, beats him over the head with a cross.
Yeah. So to address these problems that all occurred, also sinus problems, who cares? Like
Who's going all the way back to their birth, where it's like you go to your doctor, like I have sinus issues. You're like, this probably had to do with since your birth.
yeah. Also like what because they didn't explain, like they explained like feelings of like taking shortcuts, but like what could have possibly occurred in your birth where you just have a sinus infection all the time. I think you're gonna go through this therapy because
Why am I going through this therapy?
I'd like to go through the therapy.
oh, you would too.
Put us both through the
Yeah,
therapy.
I'd like to go through it.
But I remember Kwame saying that his mom considered aborting him, right?
My dad asked
true.
my mother for an abortion. Well, my dad's like
That's
super
a little
liberal.
worse.
He's like an anarchist, and he's like, hey, you don't want an abortion? And my mom's, she's Hispanic, super Christian, so she said no. So the point is,
so he was just asking for abortion because he was liberal, like just showing.
Yeah,
off
no,
his
no.
Oh
liberal-
yeah, just for the fun of it.
yeah, he's just like, well, yeah, because I mean, I don't think he does. There was never. A
When did they
child-
have you? How old were they?
My
30s?
mom was like 22. My dad was like 30.
Okay, my mom was like 19.
Okay.
Oh,
I
so
think
she should have had an abortion.
my
Well,
mom
she was in college. That's what she told me. She was. Yeah, I
So
was in
she
college.
should have had an abortion.
She was in. She
She
in
literally
My
fed
mom-
you as a baby her future. Like she cut up her fucking like the future master's degree she would have, mixed it with milk, pureed it, and fed
I
it.
tried to
you.
give it to me, and I was like,
made you
I was
stronger.
like, I don't like ketchup, so you're gonna have to throw that away.
You were like crying as a baby, and she gave you a baby formula, and you're like, I want more. And you're like, this was the film degree it's supposed to have, and you're like, yeah, that's what I want. Give it to me. Give it to me.
my mom had me when she was in college too.
How old is she?
Probably around 2019. She's only like 50 something now.
My mom's like 44, 45. Yeah, it definitely is very clear that it was like a not. You shouldn't do that.
That makes it more
I feel
fun.
like as a kid, I was just like, this was an objective.
Playing babies, I don't know anyone. I think I know like one person.
No,
who was
you
like
know them, and they're fucking
who was like a
wrong.
planned
If someone's
pregnancy.
planned, they're awful. They're probably homeschooled, and listen, they're probably autistic.
What do you mean? What do you mean by plan though?
Like the parents
when your
got
parents are
together
like,
and they're
"Oh,
like,
let's
we're
have
gonna-
a
We're
kid."
gonna fuck in November and have kids.
okay, like when
Also, planned. We don't need to. White people, right? Like those. like we need to go and say.
Cole's
we need to-
white.
Huh?
Cole's white,
Yeah, but he's
also like backward Seattle. So
he's-
you're not
he's from
really
Washington
white.
State.
Yeah, you're not white the way they.
You're not like you're not like brand name white.
Yeah,
you know,
New
you're not
Hampshire
like
white.
You're not what
You
made us
are-
famous.
You are
You are
Indiana,
TJ Maxx
Alabama,
white. You know, you're just bad.
Washington white. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like you ever been? I remember going to a flight back to visit my family in El Salvador, and it's like that flight. The amount of people holding crying babies, and I was just sitting there like, condoms fucking exist. Like that just does not reach the south of the border. They're like, you don't have to do this.
I was on a flight to Mexico, and I'm pretty sure there was a couple making a baby on that
I'm pretty
flight.
sure the pilot was holding a baby. Fucking Latinos, we have sex so much that it's like I think they hold a baby while they're.
Is it a cultural thing? Why do
It's a
Latinos-
cat. It's a
It's
Catholic.
a Catholic.
Is that why it's
no birth control type thing?
So they don't use any condoms either.
Well, yeah, it's Catholic shit.
So I remember I was talking to that Catholic guy we know, who should not be named, and he was telling me that it's like a sin where you can't if you finish anywhere other than the vagina. So like if you're like if I'm having sex with a woman and I'm Catholic,
Yeah,
and
if
I
you're
finish in her
wasting
mouth,
sperm.
that's like a sin.
Yeah,
Fuck,
because
great.
it's a waste of sperm.
It's weird.
And
I'd almost would say Kwame's a waste of. Like I'm a waste of sperm. You know what I mean? Like this would be better in a sock or in a like the fact that this is at a temp job is like this is bad. This could be
fine.
This could be a.
Unplanned pregnancies are fun. We're the fun ones. We're the ones who change the world.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
Planned pregnancies. What are you gonna be a Mormon or something? It's stupid.
that's dumb. You could feel them. You could feel a planned pregnancy.
You can.
Yeah, stupid. When they're like, I'm more in the water because I'm watching my weight and my Prozac. You're like, shut up. Shut up. Order fucking
No,
McChicken.
when you're trying to talk to him.
Take a chance.
Oh, Kwame, it's 12 p.m. I don't really think we should be drinking. Shut the fuck up.
the fuck
We're
up.
at work, you piece of
Shut
shit.
the fuck
Are
up.
you saying that this womb regression stuff probably does have a like you're saying those planned fetuses know they're planned? And
No,
that
I just think the
affects
type
their-
of parents that would plan their pregnancy are the type of parents that would create unfun children.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because your life is so functionally solid and you're like given a lot of emotional support and loving parents. And I just think that those are the building blocks to a really fundamentally boring person.
Okay.
Like I just think that anyone who comes to my
There is no unplanned Mormon, right? You will agree that there's no one in the Mormon church.
I don't know enough about Mormon. I feel like those pregnancies are unplanned because they don't care about birth control.
that is true.
Like,
Same
that's
with a
true.
lot of America where it's like also they just can't afford if he has to come to a choice between
You ever forget those guys are out there like a state over just hanging out.
No, I went to Ohio the other day to do a show, and I was like, I kind of want to go see the Amish country. And the guy running the show was like, you can't take pictures of them because they think you're stealing their souls.
Hey, you gotta respect their culture though.
No, you don't.
you don't. No, you don't.
They're stupid.
It's dumb. No,
And they should be allowed to be
yeah,
stupid, but they are
fucking-
stupid.
They are dumb. I think the closest the Amish could have is like delete your Facebook. Anyway, so fetus causes you to be an anxious, depressed,
Yeah.
fucking sinus problem. What do we do to fix it? What do me and
Yeah, 'cause
Kwame
there's
do
two,
to
right?
fix
There's
it?
one that's banned in
there's two.
Colorado.
Because my dad wanted an abortion.
Well, what do you
Kwame's
think our
dad,
parents
he
did
doesn't
that-
know.
You know my dad, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. It's just assuming. But
So what do you think was were the causes of our two problems? You think like your mom didn't want you, so now we're like a
Well, I think I know my problems. They're my mom and dad. But it's the saddest part is if they would have aborted me, that would have been not even the top 10 worst things my parents have done to me. You know what I mean? Like,
boy, this is a sad episode. Anyways, Cole, let's go back to Cole.
I don't really get like why they think the womb, like you hearing stuff as a fetus affects you so much, and not hearing stuff like when you're 3 years old.
No, yeah, that's a way bigger. No,
Like,
you can't bring logic into these things.
Yeah, no, what do you mean why? Because it's
I had heard
a
my-
23-year-old white woman from California, and no one ever said, "Hey, actually, shut the fuck up." And so now she just comes up with whatever bullshit.
Because I'm pretty sure at like 20 years old, if my dad was like, "Yeah, I should have aborted you," that would hurt way more than my fetus.
I would agree with it. I'd be sitting down. When my dad told me that, I was sitting down looking at the bills. I'm like, you were
He
right.
told you? How did he tell you? Did he tell you it was like? Because my mom told me it was like a joking thing. Like,
Well, you know, my
bullshit. I was
dad
like,
never
oh,
talked to me as like a kid. He just talked to me like another guy. So he would tell me stuff like, "Yeah, you know, my mom's not your real soulmate," and stuff like that. And like, just tell me like, just like we're shooting the shit like over beer, but I'm in like the sandbox. I'm like, okay. He's like, "Yeah, I don't really know what to do with my life." And I'm like, I'm 11. I don't know what to do here. And then he would just tell me something like, "Yeah, you know, when she got pregnant, I asked for abortion. She said no." You know, now you're in the sandbox. So that's, and you know, so to think, you know, I was very close to, you know.
Yeah. So you two definitely have problems stemming from this womb stuff, according to these people.
That'd be great if that's like what solved it. Like, wouldn't it be great if this is the episode? Like, the whole podcast is premised on this is stupid, but like actually whatever the fuck this is like cures me. Like I'm like, you know, Kenny's a doctor now.
Well, that's every episode we go into. I'm like, I'm in the back of my mind. It's like 5% of me. It's like I'm hoping this is the thing. Like,
No, I hope everything works.
Yeah.
It's the same way. Like I almost brought a lottery ticket the other day, and someone said like, "That's just a tax on the stupid." In the back of my head, I'm like, "Yeah, but what if it works?" You know what I mean? Like, what if my life?
Someone told you that a lottery ticket was a tax on the stupid?
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know.
I mean, it is.
That is
dumb.
true.
You shouldn't buy a lottery ticket.
No, it's true. That's what that is.
But it's not a tax. You don't choose to buy it.
Well, yeah, it's a joke.
Not. I mean, you
Well,
choose whatever.
They're claiming that dumb people buy it enough that it's its own tax.
Dumb
Yeah.
people don't buy it. Smart guy buys it. He makes $1 billion.
But it's not like Steve Jobs has that in his portfolio where he's like, you know, I'm going to get a billion.
Shouldn't he
scratch
though?
off.
Would that not be smarter if you had like $2 trillion to be like, yeah, just buy like let me buy.
No,
because
because it's a fucking scam. That's how.
No, buy 600,000. If I'm Steve Jobs, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy
you
600,000.
put it in stocks and things that actually make money.
I buy 600,000 lottery tickets in every state.
Gambling
Win
is
the
not a legitimate form to make money.
Win
That
the
person
lottery.
was exactly right. It is a tax on the stupid. Hearing Kwame go on about
Win. Smart move. I'm a billionaire.
nothing.
All right, I get my. Let me finish it.
Right,
I get my
that
assistance.
comes out of your mouth
I get
regarding
my.
money can ever be a smart
I'm a
move.
billionaire. I get my assistants to buy 600,000 lottery tickets in every single state. Statistically, I win the lottery. Boom, $1 billion.
Statistically, you don't. It's like one in a.
Because you buy one lottery ticket. You don't buy like.
But
2
you would be
million
better
lottery
putting
tickets.
that money in like a startup firm that's going to
That's
make.
slow money. I'm talking about fast
it's
money,
still
baby.
like one in a like 20 million. Even if you buy 600,000,
And I buy every lottery ticket every single time.
If you buy everyone, that's more than the lottery is. That's how a lottery works.
You would literally make more money just not fucking with your money and letting the interest build up.
You would spend like $6 million to get $3 million. That's as stupid as. So yeah, there's two therapies to cleanse these like womb problems, and one of them, like we said before, is banned in a couple states, and that's when you reenact your birth. So you go through another birth process, and what they do is so they take a person, they wrap them up in blankets, and then you sit on top of the blankets and push they're going through contractions, like birth contractions, and so the person's now has to like try to like climb out of the blankets.
It sounds dangerous.
That's why it's banned.
Has it killed people?
Yeah, it's killed some lady named Candace in Colorado. There's now Candace's Law.
If she was doing it, it probably wasn't a huge loss, right?
But it's also like, you know,
No.
since doing this podcast, like the level of hope that I've lost in humanity, it's just so.
man, this is fixing
Okay.
people's lives. Some
Like,
of these things.
if there was a debate about is eugenics reasonable, and all the other side did was show what, yeah, a 10-year-old girl died because
How old was
Yeah,
she?
She was 10 years old, and her mom made her do it because So she was adopted, and the mom's like, she's not attaching to me like her regular mother, so I'm gonna go through this birth process and hopefully she'll attach to me.
That's one of the most horrifically sad things I might have ever heard.
So
you're adopted by someone who
wait. So
murders
could you go into the details? How did you die, Cole?
So she was just trying to get out of the blankets, and there was like 3 women on her, a total of like 670 pounds, and she just suffocated because
Being suffocated to death by a woman. That's a fate I can connect with.
Was she black, white? Was she?
What do you have to ask the race? Do you have to ask the race?
I do have. To.
Wait,
what race
the
do you
mom
think?
or the
If
kid?
we had to give a wild guess.
The
Are they
mom
white
or
or
the kid?
Are you saying they're white or black?
They're white.
I'm thinking they're black.
In Colorado?
That's
Probably
true.
not.
I forgot you said Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, black people in Colorado. What are you talking about? This isn't Lord of the Rings, right? This is real. This is real life.
Yeah,
Jesus,
there's some real white people in Colorado. That's one of those states
that's like the ISIS of white people. That's like where they come from.
I think it's a state. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh yeah, those guys are just kind of doing their own thing.
They're living in the fucking mountains smoking weed. It's about as much as it gets.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's
As
independent.
white as it gets.
It's independent. They're not.
They're not. It's the fucking ethno state over in Colorado. But it's also like, how the fuck do you hear stuff like this? And then people are like, "Can you believe Trump's president?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes." People believe in astrology. There are people looking at the fucking newspaper and like, "I'm a Capricorn, so really, like, I don't work well with others." Yeah, we're all they're dumb. We're fucking gorillas.
I mean, there's no science, nothing, but people like in their heads are like, "Oh, that could make sense." I don't know.
But why? See, this is
Well,
this
it's
is
also it's a
okay,
correlation
here's the
type
we
of thing
need to
where it's
believe
like
in elitism needs to come back, right? Because there are people that are smarter than you, and you should ask them for advice. Like you're like, hey, my child isn't. You go to a fucking therapist, a person who's went to school for 7 years. She went on a website or talked to a dude with dreadlocks, and she was like, you know what, your baby's a fetus had a problem. You
this
need to
kind of
sit
stuff
on her
is
chest.
this kind of stuff is super big here. Like if you go to like the Netherlands, people are like, yeah, I'm not doing fucking birth regression therapy. It happens specifically in the United States because we have
No,
a
it doesn't.
culture of people.
No,
You don't
there's
think so?
dumb people in Europe too. Don't.
But I'm talking about just you don't think it happens you don't think there's dumb shit like this. All the
I
stuff
looked up
things we've
these
done.
people. They're trained. They're all trained in China or India.
Well, I
That's
was
where they
gonna
get
my
trained.
next part was gonna say it's it either happens. So the first world countries that it happens in are like the United States, where we kind of like let dumb people be dumb. And
First world country, we got. Here's the thing about America: we got first world country money, but a third world country brain. I feel like that's pretty much.
exactly.
We pretty much we got the same. We got all the resources, but we're still like. And now I feel like voodoo works. You know, we're fucking dumb. We're just dumb people.
Also, I don't know. This lady probably thought she could either take her child to like multiple months long of therapy, pay like thousands of dollars, or she heard these people like, yo, yeah, we can solve your
Don't
problem.
try to make this an economic decision. She sat on her fucking child and killed her. Don't try to be like, well, she was trying to say.
So she died from
therapy's
how long did they sit
expensive.
on her for?
70 minutes. So like
70 minutes.
You fucking bastard.
is a monster.
She had a Groupon where you sit on your kid's chest.
What'd they do?
No,
They did. They
I'm
did.
just going in the minds of this. They don't have much money. People are
You're
promising the same
Why are you
results.
adopting a child? Broke people have babies.
That is such an awful way to be adopted by a stupid person.
She went through rebirth again, but she was basically aborted in her rebirth.
It's like they finally got her. It was like, what's that one movie where the death follows them everywhere?
Oh, Final Destination.
Yeah, it's like Final Destination, like Planned Parenthood edition, where the mom's like, actually, I'm gonna keep it, and like Planned Parenthood ghost just follows her around. I'm gonna get your ass one day. Has her mom sit on her, fucking kill her.
So did she go to prison? The mother?
Yeah, the mother and the
Can you imagine
therapist
the
all
whole
went to
time she was
prison.
like, you know, my old mom used to just do heroin. You know, she was sitting there like, that wasn't that bad compared to like.
Yeah, she might have been an at-risk teen too.
She would have been like a fun person. Here's the two destinies: smothered by new age parents to death, or
Yeah.
probably like
Also, there was
cool girlfriend.
There was probably a reason she wasn't bonding with her new parent because
She
her
was
new
fucking
parent
insane.
believed in
She's
things
an
like
insane
this.
bitch.
How long did they get in prison? Are they like life or?
I think they're
Because it
probably
couldn't
like,
be. They wouldn't do first degree murder, right? No.
no, it's
I think you
probably
should.
it's manslaughter
No, you-
probably because they weren't
Yeah, they
intending
weren't
her
trying
to
kill this
die.
girl.
All right, so outside of this illegal version of rebirth, we're gonna do the legal version just because it's
I
not.
mean the illegal version.
Yeah, the illegal. Also, if one of us dies, it's good for the pod.
It's like Jesus. It's like me with the microphone. It's like he died for the pod.
Why is that good for the pod?
Well, afterwards, like what happened with Nirvana. They're like, yeah, that was the best podcast of the.
Can you imagine if I die with Cole and you sitting on my fucking chest?
It's gonna be
That's gonna be so much more humiliating.
15 years from now, some 16-year-old girl is gonna have a poster of Kenan hanging up in her room.
He died for the cast.
Oh, you didn't know See You and Help? Yeah, it was like before your time. You wouldn't get it.
It was a really big. It was too good for its time. That's sadder than people in high school were like, Kenya, he's probably gonna die choking on cough syrup or some shit. And then now it's like, no, even worse. He died on at a beginning podcast where his friends.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like you're gonna have like Instagram fan pages and shit.
I like how you guys convinced me to murder myself just to have.
They're posting like Instagram pictures and the captions are like quotes from Kid.
I want like a Che Guevara.
She was just a dumb bitch anyways. There's a picture of some girl in front of a sunset.
I want to like Che Guevara like fucking martyr's death, where it's like people have like my name looking into the distance. It's like the Obama picture.
There's a shirt with your head on it, and underneath it just says "Oh."
Oh, it's great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there's some like major people that do kind of believe in this. Some of this stuff was featured on Oprah's website.
No,
we
we
can talk about it.
Let's
talk about Oprah in a second. I got some shit to say about Oprah.
Okay.
I hate her. I think she does this kind of shit all the time. She's not
the fact that we're at a point where she can give a coherent speech and people are like, should she be president?
Yeah. The fact
of
that
the United States.
People
are
legitimately suggesting that Oprah Winfrey should be the next president. She does this kind of. She promotes this kind of bullshit all the fucking time.
If you had Dr. Oz on your show, you're not allowed to make any decision.
Yeah, no, I don't like her. I think she's dumb.
I thought she was just whatever because I never put too much attention to what she was doing.
I thought she was just like a fun talk show, like an Ellen kind of thing. I thought she was like Ellen. Like she was like a fun talk show. She has celebrities.
She's evil.
Peddles more like ridiculous bullshit, like in terms of like actual pills he's selling, than Alex Jones.
Yeah, no, she does. She peddles this kind of. I thought she was like Ellen. She's like fun. No, she peddles like this kind of bullshit. And also, I don't like that. Like, I don't like the fact that she's like. People are like, she's the richest black woman, but it's off of like hurting, hurting people.
Yeah, it's like, what if instead of selling crack, you had just selling horrific, horrible, new age bullshit to white people.
It gives these therapies kind of an air of legitimacy
that they don't deserve.
No, that they don't deserve. Like I was looking up one of these people that practices it, and like I looked up his bio, and it says Michael has been studying and teaching spirituality and metaphysics for over 20 years and has been an active member of a spiritual mystery school since 2006, which, I don't know.
You just said nothing.
Yeah, well, they use
spiritual mystery.
You just said Michael has been smoking weed in a basement for the last 20 years.
Well, they use the same terms as like a doctor would use, like, oh, I studied at like the Harvard since 2006, but they just replace it with a spiritual mystery school.
But that's also saying nothing because it's like, okay, spirituality, this confusing concept you can't put a finger on, mystery. So you don't even know what you don't even know. Also, that's like what you just said.
If your therapist pointed to his degree and it just said mystery school, that should be like point number one of like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna.
Don't you have to have a license to be a therapist?
Wait, so do you believe in God? It's a mystery.
Does he call himself a doctor? Does he call himself a therapist?
Yeah, he says he has a PhD. I don't know.
Does he call himself like doctor? Because you have to have like a degree. Yeah, it's illegal to call yourself like doctor or something.
He calls himself the finest dealer of acid in his neighborhood. That's what he calls himself. Yeah. I graduated from a spiritual mystery school in high school in my friend's basement on a tab of acid. That's what everybody has.
Yeah, and it also says Michael has over 3,000 hours of training in alternative healing and spirituality. He has, I don't know why they provide certifications for this stuff, but he has certifications as a regression and past life regression therapist, a Rohan practitioner, a Barbara Brennan energy healer, and a TAT practitioner. But so it's weird that they put like this like thin.
That's the telekinesis shit, right?
Is it? I don't know.
I think that is.
What is it called? TAT?
TAT. It's just an acronym. I don't know what for.
I
But like,
Do you
why,
believe in
why do they
telekinesis?
bother putting like a thin veneer of like?
He's
like
also
like a
Well, because you don't
He can
understand.
also
They don't
summon
look
the
at like
dead.
that. They don't look at it like that. These people genuinely believe what they're talking about. So he genuinely looks at himself. He's like, yeah, I'm like a fucking I'm a Jedi. That's what I am.
Yeah.
And he can do all this shit. Do you guys
They
believe in
should
telekinesis?
they should just like go all the way and be like, yeah, I have a
Yes or no?
certificate.
Huh?
What?
Do you believe in telekinesis?
No.
No,
You don't
come
think
on.
you don't think there are people that can move things with their mind?
I think you removed all success out of your life with your mind.
What about
I think if you believe in telekinesis, I think with your head, you focus hard enough, and then you move all possible money from coming in your direction.
what about
I think like there's a job interview coming your way, and you sit there and you get like a nosebleed, and you're focusing, and you push it out of your life. I think
what about telepathy? That's the one they can
Yeah.
they can like
I've
read
seen
minds
I've
and
seen
shit.
you practice telekinesis on stage and move people out of the club.
I didn't say I believe in telekinesis. You
Yeah,
piece
I've seen
of
you
shit.
walk an audience with telekinesis 1,000 times, 100%.
I didn't say I believe in telekinesis.
Yeah, you, don't need to, you know telekinesis exists.
Yes,
When you emptied the comedy bar on a fucking Thursday night when you went.
Also, was that a serious question to us? Do you
I'm
think
asking if
we
you got-
believe in
what do you guys-
telekinesis?
We're exploring a lot of things here. I want to know what.
Motherfucker. You're
what
taking
do
this
you guys
bullshit.
believe
This is this contrarian horse shit that they do where you know what, you ask a question that you know is false and we got a debate for debate's sake. Fuck you, it's wrong and you're
I'm
stupid.
just talking about. This guy's a certified TAT practitioner as well as a
Yeah, we're shitting
a
on him.
barber-
Yeah.
as well as a Barbara Streisand, Rohan, whatever the fuck.
I want you to know he is so dumb. We're literally trying to commodify it right now. Do you understand? We're trying to shit on him and make somehow money off of how dumb he is. That is how fucking stupid he is. I hope he's so stupid that I can pay my bills off of how stupid he is.
I don't know about you guys, but since starting this pod, my mind has opened up a lot. I've been exposed to some things I never would have been exposed to. So maybe I'm coming around
Like
to
homelessness and
different way of
poverty.
thinking. You should
What things have you not been exposed to on the streets of Chicago?
you should watch
And I
yourself.
feel like-
Next episode when I come back and I choke you with my mind, you're gonna change your fucking tune real quick.
You don't need to choke him with your mind.
First
You can
off,
just-
you gotta believe in yourself before you believe in telekinesis, okay? You gotta really... All right, how about we just have you be able to make eye contact before you can make a fucking pen fly across the goddamn room, you know? God, for fuck's sake.
Also, if anyone comes back with telekinesis, it'll be after we strangle Kenyon to death, like in his womb. And he's
I mean, we're making a lot of threats here where I don't even know if this is like an actual thing we're doing for a podcast or like a mob-style hit. It's about to go down. You guys are just gonna like fucking kill me, and my ex-girlfriend calls like, "Is it done?" And you're like, "It's done." This is kind of a lot of murder talk. We're talking.
So I was gonna cover some experiences people have had during this womb regression. And so one of this was they described a young lady who came with a complaint of chronic migraines. And the migraine attacks had first started after she conceived her first child. And before she came to the womb regression, she tried all types of treatments, but nothing worked. And so they regressed her to the womb state. She relieved what I guess her mother was going through at her time, and her mother wanted to abort the fetus. And these thoughts were perceived by her, and they created an emotional block, which resulted in a migraine. And then after the session, her migraine just disappeared.
But do you feel like you wouldn't think about the migraine because you're like, two people just sat on my chest for 70 minutes? Like, that bought me the more and more pressure. You're like, yeah, my headache is gone because I am more interested in being suffocated for 70 fucking minutes.
Also, like a
How
migraine...
long is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be 70 minutes.
Yeah, because a migraine turned into a panic attack. That's the
Is
only
it
thing
supposed
that
to be
happened there.
70 minutes every time? Do they give like a length of time or what?
No, it's just like when they break out.
How long do births last?
It's
It's
fucking
variable. An
Do
hour.
they
could
last
be
like an hour? Or is
14.
like a short? Is like
Could be 14
30?
hours. You could be in labor for like 24 hours.
also, I don't
Really?
know,
yeah.
Mr.
Really?
Gooch. Why don't you tell us?
Yeah.
I was given a thing I read. I didn't know everything in the world.
First off, Kwame, you've never read. All right, let's not start with that lie. I was given a thing I read. All right.
I read.
Yeah.
Go on to what you're saying about.
So then she said, so she went to her mother to confirm that her mother like wanted to abort her, and her mother said it wasn't true, but later she broke down and accepted that it was true. And because she was carrying a lot of guilt, she had kept the secret from her daughter. And they said, but as it can be seen, nothing can be hidden from the fetus, which is capable of perceiving everything.
Is that like the new GOP slogan? Like, I just don't understand.
Nothing can be hidden from the fetus.
Also,
Romney
it
2020.
sounds like the fetus is like Professor X or something from X-Men.
Yeah,
Like, it's just...
nothing could be hidden from the fetus. Can you imagine if the next 2020 elections, Donald Trump as vice secretary is the unborn fetus of a single mom?
Yeah, that does speak to like when it comes to actual
it's like,
abortions.
and what do you think about the chemical tax in Syria? Whatever fuck a fetus sounds like.
You just bring this fetus around. You're like, oh, so did you cheat on me, Susie? And she's like, no. And then you pull out the fetus. So really, Susie, you know nothing can be hidden from the fetus.
It's like what prank?
It's like
Wait, what's it? What about an Amari episode? Where they have the unborn fetus.
The cop in the interrogation room just plops down the fetus on the table. Like, so why don't you tell us what really happened? And then there's also another experience. This is some dude, and he went back to his mother wombs 2 separate times on 2 little trips. And he said he saw some unusual things, like an abortion attempt, and his soul playing patty cake with his fetus when he was inside his mother's womb.
What the fuck does the second one even mean? What does that have to do with?
Yeah. And he also had 30 separate choking smoking experiences in the womb, during which his mother's smoke inhaled from her cigarettes came directly into his lungs.
While he was doing womb regression?
Yeah.
So what is it? So he's saying, let me get this right. So he's saying they wrapped him up in blankets, and he was like mentally transported to the fetus.
Yeah.
And he felt smoke go into his lungs.
Yeah.
Or did you feel 2 fat girls sit on you at 800 pounds, and you
I
couldn't
feel
breathe?
like that would just.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you couldn't
that's
breathe.
your 30 choking experiences. You couldn't get air from.
Did your mom smoke cigarettes, or did Susan eat a steak right before she came in and tried to kill you?
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, and then he saw his twin. He said his twin was intentionally murdered with no remorse.
Wait, by him?
No, when he was in his mother's womb.
Well, they don't abort one baby at a time.
Yeah, I don't think.
It's not like the Planned Parenthood doctor's like.
Abort.
The Planned Parenthood doctor isn't like, you live, you die, you take it, you know.
No, I want an abortion,
Yeah.
but just the right one.
He said,
Get that one out of here.
Looks like you think it's your lucky day, punk, huh? Do you?
Also, what would a doctor do if a mom came in and was like, yeah, just choose one of them? I want one.
Down for one baby, but twins, they're weird. They look like they could read minds. Just kill one. The doctor's like, well, I already don't believe in God.
Whoever the ugly one is.
Abortion isn't murder, but I feel like that is murder. There's some.
If you abort just one?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, I don't know.
It is a little weird.
It's the right to choose
like you just
which
wanna
one of my
feel
kids
what
I want to love.
Yeah, so he said his twin was intentionally murdered with no remorse. They both experienced the suction of an abortion, and he, it might have been a she, went to his death. I was following my twin on my way to my death when I felt a powerful force pushing in the opposite direction that saved my life. And that force was God.
Oh, he says it? He
Yeah.
says that force was God?
Yeah.
So, like, that's almost darker because he's saying his brother, he was chosen by God to live.
His brother
What the
was
fuck's he doing? He's like working at Kmart and part of this bullshit? I don't
Do fetuses go to, is that a thing in the Bible? Do
They
do
go to
abortions?
purgatory.
They don't go to heaven, right? Well, don't Catholics?
No, they go to purgatory.
Well, normal Christians don't, I don't want to say normal Christians, but like Baptists
No,
don't
we can
believe.
say normal Christian.
But Baptists don't believe in purgatory,
the
right?
new
Catholics-
politically correct term for pedophile worshippers, they believe in that you actually...
That's getting edited out. But Catholics believe in purgatory, but like Baptists don't, right? Because I was raised Baptist, and I was
Well,
young.
Baptists, they drop all the crazy hokey dokey shit about, yeah.
Catholics believe in purgatory. So fetuses, what? They go to purgatory until what? They learn about
They just
God.
live there forever, I guess.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So you get aborted, you just live in the middle
Well,
ground
like,
forever?
you know your life? Just that, forever.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
I don't want that.
But hell isn't bad. But hell's worse.
Because I was aborted, so that's what you get. You just a fetus for the. For
yeah, but you gotta
eternity?
think if you go to Christian ideology, right? It's like hell, a horrific hell, evil forever.
That's true.
A waiting room forever, or I guess the best thing forever, which is not even the best. Like, how boring would that be?
That's funny. It's just a waiting room where you sitting there and some guy.
And you're
So
like, what did you do? I'm fucking 2, and I died because I live in fucking Honduras.
So
and
you
I got typhoid.
You reading the funny papers? Yeah. That's just that for the next billion.
It's just hell on earth. It's just like you just being like, you think that we're ever gonna, and they're like, nah, I guess all right.
Yeah, but that was his experience. So not only did he have
experience is like a hijacked term that people kind of throw around. Like experience is a strong word to throw on most people. Like that was my experience. No, it was like
experience. Like
it was a shitty thing you did on a Sunday. You know what I mean?
The dating book or whatever the fuck, 69 Steps or whatever the fuck. He says, yeah, you say you're like the experience for this girl or whatever.
Yeah,
it's such a weird word.
Would you ever say that any sex you've had has been an experience? Because I'm gonna tell you, no.
Experience is like skydiving.
Skydiving is experience. Yeah.
What about when you paid money to get beat?
Oh, that's
or
true.
whatever?
The dominatrix is a fucking experience.
Yeah,
dominatrix.
That sounded. I was listening to you talk about that, and I was like, that's hot.
I'm gonna tell you. Unfortunately, me paying a woman to beat me up is the healthiest relationship I've ever had with a woman. Hands down. Not even any contenders. I was thinking about it recently. I don't know what came up, but I was like thinking about I was like going back home for Christmas. Might shoot her an email.
You're gonna pay? It wasn't like $400, man.
$300 an hour.
That's a lot of money.
I know.
Would you do 1 hour at a time, or you do like 2 or 3 hours?
I did 15 minutes at first for $80. And
$80 for 15 minutes is a long fucking time, man. I mean, that's a lot of money for a short amount of time. Is what I'm saying.
And it goes so fast. And then I was like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna get the whole fucking hour. And then
you said that phrase with like the same breath that like a man who just purchased caviar.
it goes so fucking
$500 in it.
You said that was something like a Russian businessman who just purchased a woman. It goes so fast.
What it is like capitalizing on weak men's insecurities too, because she has like a whole thing like you could $90, you can just go out to dinner with her. You can pay $100 fee on top of, so you can pay $100.
Is there a thing where guys? Is there a fetish where guys like to go out to dinner with women? Or
yeah, it's called fucking loneliness. Is the fetish?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that a fetish or this thing where they just want to go to dinner with a woman?
It's like a supermodel that's kind of cool that will hang out with you. Really? So if you're in a dark place and then you go and you're like pay money and then you have an intimate experience and you're like, I want to do this. So I'd buy her like, she has like a book list and I'd buy her like a book that she likes and then I'd give her a book and then we'd like. She came out to a comedy show once after I didn't go for months, and she gave me a hug.
Did you pay money?
No.
And she just said, "I want to come see your comedy."
No, she didn't. I didn't. So I was broke. I didn't go to her for like months, and then I came to her.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear.
No, I'm talking about true love here, like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, were you close? Did you like fuck this up? Were you like about to date your fantasy?
We weren't about to date, but we were like, I would say we were
came to the comedy show. You were in.
We're like friends.
So you're saying if you won the lottery and became a billionaire, this lady would become a billionaire?
Oh, she would. Dude,
also,
I'm talking about
friends is a strong. I'm friends with Cole. I've never. If Cole was like, "Hey, Kwame, I'll give you $80 to beat my balls," like, yeah, no, that's a no.
Yeah, no, I think it's I thought of it at the time as kind of a relationship alternative. I thought I'd found the solution. Just like, no, you just pay them. It's genius. Why don't people do that?
The disease is the cure.
Let's get back on track. What's
what are you saying, Cole?
I was just saying. So that guy, yeah, he's ridiculous.
That was the guy who was. The guru, whatever the fuck? Right?
No, he was just someone who went through womb regression. But I was like looking this stuff up, and
So are there websites for it, like in Chicago? We could do it?
Probably, but you don't need to pay someone to do that. Like they're just certified in a.
How much is it? What do they charge? It's like $400 a fucking session, or what?
Probably.
That's insane. Who's doing this?
Womb regression?
Yeah.
Yeah, like crazy new aged Oprah listening.
That's not
fucking
even.
I mean, that's who. Listen,
are we talking rich people? Because I want to know the prices.
I'm trying to think. People who are desperate.
People
like,
are
like. I'm trying to. Is it like an astrology thing where like anybody's into it? But if it's like $400 a session, that means it's like only.
No,
rich
it's just people who have tried all sorts of things.
Yeah.
They have money. They're desperate because nothing has worked.
So rich people, right?
Not always rich, could be middle class. I mean, dude, what you're looking at self-help is, because I used to read a lot of self-help, it's like a desperate level of people. When you go to alternatives,
You used to read a lot of self-help?
Oh, yeah, I'd always read a lot of self-help.
Like, because you were into it? Like, you want to try to fix
Because
yourself?
I'm a sad man. I just want help.
Are you trying to fix yourself?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix myself for a while, but, you know,
I didn't know that.
failed.
So how many of these have you already known about before you did the episode, you piece of shit?
You're like, yeah, that one ain't gonna work. I tried that.
What's womb regression? I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's just like desperate. Like I when I was looking up this stuff, I found
Well, you know, simple stuff like Alcoholics Anonymous for Dummies, but the whole thing's just a book that says "Stop making your mom cry." You know, shit like that.
like some people got so desperate that like in a similar vein, people would turn to something. I found this while I was looking this stuff up. People would turn to dolphin therapy.
What is that?
It's when your therapist is a dolphin.
Wait, can you? I want you to repeat that sentence, but like it makes actual fucking sense. Because I'm about to lose my. Because because Cole, I want you to know I'm about to throw this mic at a wall and run out into the hallway and scream. Because what'd you just say with your mouth?
Well, I saw this article about and it said Matteo and Marco are therapists who work together, and Matteo is a dolphin, and so going into this, they're like,
why is this not the end of story? Why Kevin and Matthew work together? Matthew's a dolphin. Why am I talking to you? What? No, he's not. What? Can you imagine being like, I'm having thoughts of suicide. I feel useless. The fuck are you talking about? Dolphins as therapy? The point is, there's a certain point of like fucking progress you make where you're just like actually almost like functionally stupid. Where, like you can't even like that's what I'm talking about, like upper middle class kids that are like, I'm just so depressed, and then I felt the dolphin's natural energy, and I'm like, you don't have any fucking you know?
yeah, and it says they say
when I saw the dolphin squirt out of its blowhole.
No, my problem is not like my mom. Your problem is like, yeah, my mom smokes crack, and the dolphin's like, ah, yeah, I fed him a fish, and he told me.
And they go into a little bit.
He was
more.
jumping through hoops, and I realized I was jumping through hoops my whole life because of my anxiety, and I have to stop this.
And
So go on. How does this work?
Well, this is one place.
Where is the dolphin? Is it like a sea? Is it legal to just have a dolphin?
Oh yeah, no, these are like kind of aquariums, but they have dolphins. But getting into the Marco and Matteo relationship, Marco.
Wait, hold on, because I want to try to. So, do they run like a therapist's office like out of SeaWorld? Like, how do you do that? Because you can't. If I just want to buy a dolphin, I can't just do that, right? That's not legal.
No, you can't just buy
I can't just buy a fucking dolphin.
But you know how you go to Mexico? There's those places where you swim with dolphins. It's the same concept.
I don't know because I've never done that.
Well, it's just like
it's also that you can
it's
sue
a-
dolphins in the U.S. There's some shady Mexico dolphin dealer you're talking about.
It's
Cole,
just-
that's gonna.
It's just they have them in Florida and
Tijuana,
stuff.
I know a guy. I like how Cole's like, I know a guy.
It's like
Yeah, you don't think you can buy a dolphin? I get you a dolphin in 30 fucking minutes.
it's like a
Listen,
like
I get you a van full
a
of fucking
petting zoo.
seawater, dolphin, and goddamn under an hour.
So what is it? It's like I go to like a retreat thing for like wild animals. They have dolphins, and then there's like one guy there who will like let me do a therapy session.
Yeah, there's Matteo and Marco, and
Marco's the human.
Marco's a human. Mateo's the dolphin. Marco tells me that he often takes the lead from Matteo when the dolphin suggests a procedure.
I like how, so it turns out that the antidote for most people depression is feeding dolphin sardines. I don't know why this is the case, but
Mateo's little.
okay, he's suggesting it. I'm following his lead, dude.
Mateo went a little left field with this one. He says a double mastectomy is the way to is the way to cure your anxiety.
I was going to prescribe Prozac, but Mateo's telling me lithium.
Jesus fucking Christ.
They say
So how does it work? Like I swim with a dolphin, and then what?
So they talk more about how good of a therapist Matteo is. And they say very often the therapists tell me of their experience of working with patients in their office. They devise their plans for the day only to find that the dolphins already know what needs to be done when the therapist and patient comes to the water. So they're saying like these dolphins have a natural Like,
So what? How does it work? I swim with the dolphins, and then what? They just interpret. Some guy just bullshits, basically.
Yeah, so they don't know exactly how it works. They give a lot of BS, like pseudoscience explanations. This person said that it is said that gazing into the dolphin's eyes is a profound experience. One mother said that her child with autism looked at her for the first time after working with dolphins.
Because he gained sentience and looked at her and was like, what the fuck did you spend $5,000
Can you
on?
imagine being like your child has autism, he's very sensitive to lights, noises, he can't make eye contact. You're like, throw him in a pool with a fish. Throw him in a pool with a fish. I'll save him. They take this poor kid, he's like, man, and you throw him in. You're like, he's a smart fish. Have the smart fish save him.
No, he's a cute kid. Is like, no,
Is
mom.
that
I
the
just,
state of American healthcare?
No, mom. I don't like hugs and I really like math. She's like, put him with the dolphins. This freak obviously does not know.
It has been said that some children begin to walk, communicate, and interact.
Cleft palate was actually saved by a chimpanzee beating him to death.
Interact differently after these experiences.
Yeah, of course they interact differently. They have fucking dolphin
On
flipping all over them.
On a psychological level, depression is sometimes lifted and worldviews changed.
But also, like, yeah, my depression would be lifted if I spent an evening playing in a pool with a majestic creature of the sea.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be like bummed out if it's like, oh, here's an adorable fucking weird one of a kind animal.
That's what a lot of people say. That it's just kind of like a placebo because you're traveling to like an
It's
exotic.
not a placebo effect. Here's a wonderful fucking
I
day.
went to
Well,
India. I
not-
swam with one of the most beautiful, intelligent
not
creatures
placebo,
on this earth.
just that you're going to an exotic
Yeah, it's almost
location.
being like some people are saying after a 5-star course at a restaurant, depression is lifted, and like, yeah, that's what would happen. It's just a good fucking day.
Yeah.
If you throw the most suicidal person in with a dolphin and a bunch of puppies, they're like, this is a good fucking time.
Though this creature doesn't speak language and he feels love, and you're like, yeah, this is beautiful.
So,
this is incredible.
So she says that their healing mechanisms come from
Who is she?
just one of these practitioners of group regression and a soap opera writer. So,
Where is this? Where are you looking? Cole is looking at his computer.
I think at a certain point we're gonna
this
look
is-
at
Cole is
Cole's
looking at his
computer.
computer. What are you looking at? Are you looking
well,
at
I got this from an article on
Cole's about to have like some
Huffington
shining
Post.
moment where it's like Cole works all day, no play.
Yeah, so she says their presumed healing mechanisms either come from their bioenergy force fields they
Oh yeah,
emit,
you know those classic bioenergy force fields.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course.
their high-frequency clicks and grunts that dolphins use to communicate with each other. They're like their sonar.
Oh,
That
yeah, they
some
do
people
that.
think the sonar is doing it when it like enters your body, or even the ability to directly alter human brain waves from beta to alpha waves.
What is beta to alpha waves?
Nothing. It means nothing. We're just making shit up. It's not real. It's fake. It's bullshit. That's the whole thing.
Bullshit.
It's all bullshit. It's bullshit. It's like when you're just like, oh, beta, alpha, fucking telekinesis, the mystery philosophy school. It's bullshit. They're shitting in their hand. They're wiping it on pages. And they're selling it to sad, depressed people as a cure. These
The
are
dolphins.
animals.
The dolphins are saying that it's real.
Dolphins don't even know what's going on.
So
Fish that can sing, for Christ's sake. They don't know shit.
So they say this dolphin therapy alleviates Down syndromes.
They actually have this move where the dolphin... The dolphin actually is a trick where you throw a ball in the air and the dolphin rams into your kid so much he smushes his forehead back into his normal size.
It also alleviates AIDS.
AIDS!
Autism, learning disorders, deafness, and comas.
They're killing people.
Do you understand that New Age people are Do you understand that? So here, it's like a shitty street joke. It's like a deaf person, an autistic person, a deaf Down syndrome person walk into a New Age pool, and they throw him in a pool with a dolphin and say, cure him. Cure him.
The fact that it's that this and every single self-help thing we've done has gone from the most harmless thing to they're killing people with AIDS. They're telling
Also,
people with AIDS, don't seek treatment. Come
That's-
to the Dolphins.
That's an amazing treatment if it can cure both Down syndromes and AIDS. Like, there's no mechanism in common between those. Like, what is the dolphin doing? Because
I want to be serious because I want to make sure you're not bullshitting. You're not misquoting. It says it cures AIDS.
yeah.
Human AIDS. AIDS.
Well, not cures, alleviates. I don't know.
What does alleviates AIDS? I either have AIDS or I don't.
Well, it's also like that's just saying, hey, some kids with Down syndrome and AIDS had a good day because they played with the dolphin.
Yeah.
You know, because they played with
Also,
the
yeah,
dolphin.
what is
It's gotta
curing down like flowers for Algernon? He has Down syndrome. The next day, he's like, no, I actually gained my bachelor's in neuroscience. Like, what is curing Down syndrome?
I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
like, I mean, is he like the extra chromosome? The dolphin just eats that shit? I don't get what the fuck the hell does he do? No, it's like, he just
No,
fucking...
he sonars it out of its body. So just
Oh man,
yeah,
that's horrifying. So
And,
I mean, people get hurt by this, right?
maybe.
Yeah,
If it's AIDS, like
they
some.
threw a Down syndrome child in a pool with a dolphin.
I'm talking more about the AIDS. Like some guy's gonna like go back to his home in Texas and be like, no, it's fine. I don't have to like take the medicine because
Some
the dolphins
people
got
some
it.
people are concerned about like the well-being of the dolphins too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a real victim here, I'd say. This dolphin's having to swim with
No,
Down
it's okay,
syndrome children.
'cause
with
I
AIDS.
took
But-
him out of the majestic billion miles of the ocean to put him in a box where he can swim with guys
No,
who have
but
AIDS.
this lady says that she has seen and heard with her own eyes that these are dolphins who love doing this work and are born into it, like the people who are devoted themselves to helping.
You know, dolphins.
So she's
care
going to
together
hell, right? She's like
professions.
she's going to hell. You took
Yeah.
you took a bird of the sea
No,
and you put it into a
they
box.
they love doing it. Marco says that although the dolphin are fed fish as they work, Mateo would willingly work the full hour without fish if he's allowed to do the therapy.
he's
his-
also
his
going, they're
way.
going to hell. If there is a hell, they will be.
They
there.
also open preface it, although we do feed the animal its only thing to live to incentivize to do this, I think he would do it anyway. That you just ruined the whole fucking thing. You just said, yeah, we feed it fish while it plays with kids with AIDS. And we're like, yeah, it doesn't.
No.
The dolphin doesn't fucking care.
Marco said that he saw Mateo after the other dolphins had finished with their patients. Mateo
Wait, so what do the dolphins actually fucking do that cures AIDS and Down syndrome?
Mateo extended
That's
a
true, yeah.
session.
Wait,
with the
what
kid.
what do they do? You just swim with them?
Yeah, no one knows what they really
So
do.
you swim? So
They don't.
Wait, so the website just says swim with a dolphin and it'll cure your AIDS.
Yeah, they don't know if it's them converting human
I'm leaving
brainwaves
the
from
mic.
beta
I want
to
to
alpha
go to the
waves.
computer and see what you're looking at. What are you looking at?
So, swimming with dolphins is kind of expensive, right? Therapy with dolphins is $700 per hour.
It's $700
per hour of dolphin
You
interaction.
realize you could get like the best, like Magic
Do
Johnson.
you know like how,
Magic Johnson's healthier than everyone in this room. I want you to really take that in. That a man with AIDS is healthier and more successful than you.
how is he
are.
not dead? That's true.
Yeah, because he has money. Because he's not
AIDS-
fucking swimming with dolphins. He's going to real fucking.
AIDS
doctor.
is so livable this day.
It actually is. Did
know-
you know there's a thing they have now where if they detect HIV in your blood within like 72 hours, they can give you a thing. It's like a shot or whatever. You have to continue it for like 2 weeks, and then it'll
Yeah,
clear it, like,
you could
from
do
your
that,
body.
or you could swim with dolphins. That's
That's true. Yeah, I had an STD test recently, and there was a dolphin tank on standby in case I had AIDS.
The only thing this proves is that like we need like when people don't have universal health care, they just seek out any bullshit. Like if you just had health care to like pay for AIDS treatment, you'd be like, yeah, I'm fine. But instead, you don't have any health care, so you have to go spend $700.
Like I heard this fish will save us.
yeah. What if you got diagnosed with AIDS and the doctor just gives you this card? He's like, "Hey, this is Marco and Mateo. give them
Can
a
you
call."
imagine being
Yeah,
over
we
there?
give you Marco's card. You give you Mateo's card.
You're like,
Mateo's
my
the therapist.
hair is falling. Like, yeah, we'll throw fucking Tom Hanks from Philadelphia in with the goddamn dolphins and fucking
Yeah. So,
have him just what? He's gonna kiss the open sores with his little dolphin mouth and close them all up.
So researchers did actually look into this dolphin therapy, and it says a group of German researchers carefully observed sessions in which dolphins interacted with groups of mentally and physically handicapped kids in a Florida dolphin therapy program, and they found that most of the dolphins ignored the kids.
Fucking dolphins! They're dolphins!
And they
Fish! They're mammal fish. Whatever gives a fuck.
They
Don't
concluded
care.
that
They're not fish. They're mammals.
I know they're mammals, but that's
They're
almost,
like the chimps of the sea.
yeah, but
what does
it's
that mean? The chimps of the sea.
They're smart.
but like the dolphins don't know they're not fish,
That's true.
and it's also like whenever someone says that, it's like yeah, but you know what I mean. Fuck it, they're swimming in the water.
Yeah. So the researchers concluded that the kids would have been better off playing with dogs. And they also said that dolphins can be aggressive,
Dolphins rape each other.
even to the
They
kids.
do that, don't
they're-
they? Yeah.
You know
They're
why?
supposed to
Because
be
they're
healed.
wild animals. They don't care. They're crazy.
Are they aggressive toward people? Do they?
Yeah, so a study found that half of the 400 people who worked with dolphins suffered traumatic injuries, and participants in dolphin therapy programs have been slapped, bitten, rammed, which resulted in a broken rib and punctured lung. You can also contact skin diseases from these animal therapists. So,
Can you imagine?
Christ.
So,
Getting bit one of that's not like a dog bite. That's a wild.
can you
animal
imagine
in the
like
water.
throwing? So it's like, hey, it's Down syndrome, but I have no way to save him, and you throw him in with a fucking whale that rams him in the rams him in the. He gets attacked by
Yeah, I would also come out the water and be like, "Yeah, I'm cured. Please never do that again. I'm good. I'm fine."
well, he didn't cure your AIDS, but you also have another disease from the dolphin. You know?
It's just a fucking dolphin. They're crazy. You're supposed to keep him in the goddamn water.
Yeah, you have AIDS and now you have dolphin AIDS. So,
And this is a type of birth regression, or
no, it's just like these people believe in all this stuff. Like they like have like one anecdotal story, like, oh yeah, I saw this kid playing with a dolphin, he got better, and like,
They all have like the same con artist. Like, listen, I saw this one fucking kid one time. He had a big forehead. He plays with the fucking fish. No more forehead. What are you saying? $700. I take you in the fucking.
yeah. But the same people that practice like womb regression practice dolphin therapy. It's just
So, people are throwing kids with Down syndrome and AIDS into pools and playing with dolphins. That's where our country's at.
yeah,
and
that's
then-
something that you guys aren't gonna be able to do.
No, we don't have access to a dolphin. I
We-
wish.
dolphins? We
That
go
would
to the
just be a
aquarium.
great day. That wouldn't even be a funny. Like if me and Kwame swam with dolphins, probably the best day of my life. Wouldn't even. It'd be great. It'd be a great time. But coming back to it, so you and Kwame are gonna sit on my chest while I'm wrapped in blankets.
Yeah,
I want to
we're
do that
also
as
gonna
well.
do the
I
same
also want to do
Kwame.
the regression. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna sit on mine. I'm saying we're gonna film the whole thing. We'll put it on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Let everybody follow the podcast in on me and Kwame's. Stay tuned. Possible death. I don't want to
It's
give
not
any.
a death.
I don't want to give any
Is
spoilers.
it death or is it
The next
rebirth?
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to give any spoilers, but I'm going to tell you, I don't know what's going to happen here, folks. It could be,
Yeah.
It's really on the fucking edge. So make sure you rate the podcast 5 stars, share it with all your friends. I don't know, we don't really put a lot of hard work into it, but I want you to know we need it to work out to hold it as a victory over our friends.
And if Kenyon dies, why not shoot $1 towards us to help with the funeral costs?
No, even better. So if
No,
I don't,
I kind of want you to die because we are gonna have a $75,000 funeral.
yeah. So even if I don't die during the podcast, and this is just a real by New Year's, we'd like to have at least 1,000 downloads per episode. And if you're listening right now, I do mean this. If you could share and rate it. If I don't get that, I will kill myself. This is not a threat. This is not a threat. This is a promise.
Okay, so we're coming back this week. Kenyon just went through the rebirth therapy. Kwame, after watching Kenyon go through it, decided not to do it, right?
It looked miserable. It looked like the worst thing ever.
Yeah. I would describe it as that. I don't feel any better whatsoever. It's basically I have mommy issues still, and my chest hurts. That's all that's going on.
Also after in between the episodes, we read a little bit more into what happened to the little girl, and I was like, I don't want to even risk that.
It sounded like you were about to start crying there.
It was like
I don't even want to risk it. Dude, someone did that shit for 70 minutes. I did it for like 2 minutes. And it was in a sweaty vacuum. I'm crawling. I think the worst part of the experience is just me having an existential crisis. How did I get here?
I did
why am I in someone's hallway?
I did like sitting on your chest. That was fun.
Yeah, so we'll go through like what. So we set it up. We wrapped Kenyon in blankets in my hallway. Then we put on Kid Cudi's Reborn song at Kenyon's request.
I wanted some motivational music to really get me through it.
Yeah, and so we built kind of like a tunnel of blankets that represented the womb and the birth canal, and then we told him, fight your way out while Kwame sat on you.
And you pushed for compressions.
Yeah, I pushed to stimulate the contractions. It was a pretty good womb.
I'll be honest. It was probably a healthier birth than my actual one. It was. It was more successful. Quick.
Do you feel any different?
Well, to be fair, unlike my first birth, there is kind of a future on the other end of this one. You know, when I crawled out, there was people who wanted to see me there. There was actually things that I wanted to do.
It's probably happier for you, the two parents you just see to be me and Cole.
Yeah. Seeing Cole is actually better than a confused crying father that I crawled out. It definitely. The whole time I literally was just thinking, where did it all go wrong? You know, at some point, why didn't I listen to that one teacher that's like, you could be something, kid? Instead, I was like, I'm going to follow my dreams. And then I got Cole's serial killer pushing me down as I'm wrapped in blankets, suffocating on the floor. Like, I hope this gets some views on SoundCloud. And it's like, Jesus.
Were you ever scared of?
Yeah, I was scared.
You were scared?
I couldn't fucking breathe.
You couldn't breathe?
I couldn't breathe.
Really?
I just
because of the chest thing. Because we were sitting on your chest.
Because I was wrapped in blankets and you were sitting on me. You know how air goes into your lungs? My face was covered, and I was hot, and I was crawling through, and I was trying to find some strength within to keep going.
We turned the oven on in the apartment just to.
To really create the warmth,
womb warmth conditions as well. So
we should have poured water on you or something.
Yeah. We have actual placenta here that we pour all over my head to really stimulate the birth. It really, I could see that people do that shit for 70 minutes. I think it just feels like a live birth, and that you're crying when you get out of that.
Well, the sessions they do are they're 2 weeks.
I did it for 3 minutes.
Yeah, they do an hour a day for 10 days.
Did you ever feel like it was kind of exercise as well?
It was probably, to be fair, the most exercise I've had in a year.
Yeah.
But that's not health. That's just because I'm an unhealthy piece of shit.
That's what I've gotten from these, the rage room and this. It seems like they're good,
they just make you tired.
The rage room and you sitting, this is the only cardio I'm getting, is you guys making me do humiliating things. And all of them
just make you tired. All the physical ones just make you real tired.
The rage room was attached to an escape room, and we just built you an escape room, basically.
That's a little bit of a poor man's escape. It definitely was it was real. I don't see how you could come out of that and you're just like, you know what? Heroin isn't all that. I just don't see how it would come out of that actually be better at the other end. I just
would you pay money to have someone do that to you?
No.
No, why not?
Pay money for that to never happen to me ever again. The fuck are we talking about?
So yeah, you went through that for a minute. You didn't even make it through the whole Kid Cudi Reborn song. But
that'd be great if it was co-opted as a music video. It's just me crawling through your hallway. Kid Cudi's like, this is actually exactly what I was going through. This is the journey we all go through. Me just sweating as Kwame's smug ass sits on the fucking. The problem, the only great part is Kwame just cannot afford enough food that it was actually kind of easy. I just felt.
What do you mean? You
felt your.
I had you pushed down. I even let up a little bit so you could get through.
Huh?
Because you were struggling.
Yeah, I was having a hard time.
Kwame's I even let up a little bit so you didn't die.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Oh, really? I really appreciate the support that you didn't murder me for the pod, even though I was prepared to be a martyr for the cause.
Exactly. You better be goddamn dedicated.
Yeah.
So you went through just a minute of this, but
78. First off, the fact that someone died is not the fact that more people haven't died is the weird.
How many people have died? Just that one girl?
Just that I know of. But they made it illegal afterwards, so.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it should be.
Well,
I want to
yeah.
see the Congress meeting where they had to be like, people are doing what?
So she did it for 70 hours, or not.
70 minutes, but it was
70
multiple
minutes.
sessions. Remember?
And she was only 70 pounds, and so while she was in it, it said that she screamed for help in air. 11 times during the session, she told the people that she was dying, to which her therapist responded, "You want to die? Okay, then die. Go ahead and die right now."
Well, it sounds like they did everything on their end to be safe. I mean, I just don't. What else could they have
How
done?
many people
I mean,
sat
it's-
on it?
yeah, I mean,
4, right?
Dude,
Yeah, 4
I mean, they
people.
took every precaution in the book, which is, ignore all cries for help and then berate the small child that is clearly dying.
And then it says 20 minutes into her session, she vomited and shit inside the sheet, but nevertheless, she was still kept restrained within.
How would your girlfriend feel if you're like, why are you watching all the sheets? You're like, can you shat all over him for the podcast? It's big. We were doing a thing.
Do you know
He
how
shat
hard you have
himself.
to sit on a person to force shit out of their...
I don't think they force.
But how did... So
I
what,
think she was just near death, and like those bodily
does
functions.
that happen? You just start shitting yourself?
Yeah.
I feel like we should have done it for. I should have done it for 70 minutes to really get
when
it.
when you're like trying
Almost died.
to fight something off, like your
That's
body
true.
will put its energy into surviving itself, and like secondary functions like holding shit in are just put to the wayside.
That's true. That's why that's actually why in most alt rooms I shit myself. That's actually 100%. The goal is just survival, and my body actually can't even hold in my feces anymore. I'm just on stage following a girl with a shaved head, and you just see all my bodily fluids come out all at once. So it's fight or flight mode. I just can't even fucking survive anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't make it 20 minutes in with Kenyon, so he didn't.
Yeah,
shit
to
himself.
be fair, this is the one that everyone in Numi would probably be like, he does need some live birth there. Like, we should probably get a redo on the whole birth thing.
I thought the rage room was going to be like your thing. And
Ah,
it
it's
was
not.
not.
It kind of was a little his. He came out of it kind of positive.
Yeah, he
compared
did.
to
I had a
us.
good time.
I'm sure you did.
But I also just was fucking exhausted. Like, I just don't have the energy to be angry like that.
And then, like looking more into Candace's thing, it says 40 minutes into the session, the therapist told Candace, "This baby doesn't want to live. She's a quitter." To which Candace faintly responded, "No." And that would ultimately be Candace's last words.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah. And then to this, his therapist responded, "Quitter, quitter, quitter, quitter. Quit, quit, quit. She's a quitter."
Imagine being like nursery rhyme bullied as you die, as you're choking to death on your own shit and vomit, and somebody's like, quitter, 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 pumpkin eater. All right. Candace in death.
She's shitting.
Candace in death. Sitting in a tree. KISSING.
It's very much a like an anti-adoption.
Yeah, it's all
I'm
yeah.
gonna give my kid up so that this
Yeah,
is how
let
they
them
die.
grow up in a fucking broken household. For Christ's sake. If a better time, she might have joined a gang and learned something. Now she got a bunch of new age hippies to be like, quitter, quitter, and they're sitting on her.
It's interesting because it says it's banned in Colorado, but when I was reading, it said that she was from her and her family were from North Carolina, and they flew out to Colorado for the session. $7,000 2-week session, by the way.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. So they had like a lot of money and resources, and they decided
Yeah,
the
they're
best
assholes.
thing to do was wrap
kill
the
her.
child in
Murder her,
sheets
yeah.
and sit on her.
They killed her.
Because she like, well, but also, I mean, to be nuanced.
Yeah, we were
she
reading
was
the
troubled, and
She said she was killing pets. She was like killing goldfish and shit.
okay. So, you know, I mean, you know,
anyone really right?
yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to toss up. You know, it's a nuanced. You can't just go in here and be like, killing Candace is wrong. It's like, but what about fucking? What about Mr. Bubbles? All right, does he have a
Just what she
goddamn
said.
say?
He set shit on
You know,
fire.
at least she got last words. He didn't, as this fucking monster
Yeah.
flushed her down the toilet to feel. Take that, motherfucker.
So the mom is in prison now?
Yeah.
Is she like
the
for how
mom
long she
actually
get?
Actually,
got-
she's on a book tour. She's actually
The mom might
she's
not have gone
on
because
Oprah.
it said the mom wasn't one of the people who sat on it because you pay people to do this and the mom was in another room.
That's somehow worse.
Yeah. The mom.
I think that's actually more uncomfortable. They're like just sitting watching like, can't wait for this to work for my baby. And just seeing her fucking die.
Yeah, they actually, I think, sent the mom out of the room because the mom was giving off negative energy because I guess she might have been worried about her kid.
Oh, might have? If there was just a single ounce of humanity left in her, then she was just like, I can't. It's like the scene from Get Out where it's just in her head.
Yeah, so the mom got like a 4-year suspended sentence, and then afterwards her charges were expunged from her record for some reason. I don't know.
Well, she didn't kill. I mean, she didn't technically kill him, right? What did the people get manslaughter or what?
The other people?
Yeah.
Um,
They get nothing. They murdered a little girl. I'd hope they got something.
they were tried and convicted of reckless child abuse resulting in a death and received 16-year prison sentences.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Can you imagine telling people in prison what you did? What are you in here for? Grand Theft Auto. What are you in here for? Well, live birth therapy is a complicated procedure, and one didn't go well, but in a way, maybe she wasn't meant to be here. Okay, what am I? Being a pioneer. That's what I was arrested for.
I'm in here because Candace was kind of a quitter.
Honestly, I'd be terrified. Like, even if I was just like a fucking gang member and I was talking to someone, I was like, you sat on a kill until they died? I was like, all right. We're leaving him alone. We're leaving. This is you're fucking Christ's sake.
Yeah,
I was selling heroin like an adult. You get out of here.
You sat on a kid until she vomited herself and shit herself.
You want my juice? How about you get my juice? How about you sit at your own table? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well.
So I'm still not any better. Really had some hopes on this one. On the live birth therapy. I think I could use a new birth.
Really?
Huh?
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
What do you mean by you could use a new birth?
I think I just want a better relationship with the first vagina I came out of and in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this did not help.
No. For some reason, you covering me in blankets, sitting on my back while Cole pushed me down in his 110 apartment did not cure any depression or anxiety. I mean, it's a shock to the system. I know. I mean, it's
Yeah, you feel a little alive,
Yeah,
a little more alive. You appreciate. You could have died back there. You appreciate life a little bit.
No. I hate my life. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck?
There's no energy.
Sorry, my cousin's a gymnast. What the fuck? I'm sitting over here wrapped in fucking blankets. Well, no. That's the great thing when you truly fuck up is you don't even get that I could have been. You're like, yeah, you couldn't. Could have been a fucking Pizza Hut manager that suppresses a Xanax addiction in my better life. I can't say I could have been a fucking doctor. Could have been dropped. I could have been blowing off a community college class. And Mom's like, how's school today? And I'm like, everything's fine. And then I hide a nosebleed and go back into the fucking room. Anyway, so yeah. Surprisingly enough, live birth. If you're trying to help yourself, probably take that one off the list, right?
Yeah.
Probably don't cover yourself in blankets and have people sit on you. So
Gotcha.
for some reason, we're going to side with the state of Colorado on this one.
Yeah. And me and Kwame could potentially go to jail, right? Because we.
That'd be kind of great if
Is
we
it
did,
illegal
like
in
the-
Illinois?
The video goes up and you guys like fuck. They kick down the door. And fucking arrest you. I'm just sitting there crying in court. I'm like, not only that, Cole pushed me down. And Kwame said he could have killed me, but he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. This could have ended in the last episode of the podcast with Kenyon dead and us in jail.
Wouldn't it be pretty great if they're playing the podcast as proof and they're like, to be fair, Your Honor, very solid riffs. Very solid riffs up front.
Pretty
It's
funny,
a
but
kind of
you
a
know, they did
humorous,
kill him.
good
Yeah.
time for any commute. Top 158 in Canada.
Your
Sure,
Honor?
it resulted in a death.
Your Honor, if they're in jail, they can't continue this amazing podcast.
And that would be depriving the dedicated, small but steady course of over 1,000 downloads that has happened so
there
far.
will be no laughter in this courtroom.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
You wouldn't put the guy who just cured cancer in jail for murdering someone, would you?
Weird. Listen, how many people died when they were trying to cure polio? You know? Kenyon died for a higher cause, and that higher cause will one day be in the top 10 charts on iTunes. So do you want to really deprive?
All right.
Well, if we're gonna wrap up, we're gonna say, what you want to plug
Wrapping
some
up,
stuff?
I think
You got some plugs?
got some plugs. I'm going to be in Fort Wayne, Indiana on Tuesday. Come on out. This is on my website. I'm going to be at the Comedy Shrine closing out Game of Microphones Thursday. Friday, I'm going to be at the Comedy Bar doing 2 guest spots, 7:30, 9:30. So, yeah, if you like hearing about how I talk about humiliating myself, it's in my act too. So come out, have a good time. Yeah.